The sun rose slowly over Miyazaki, painting the sky in crimson and gold. But beneath that calm beauty, something electric was brewing, a quiet storm, a tension that only those who truly understood baseball could feel. This wasn't just another practice. This was where legends were being made, or broken. From the first crack of the bat that morning, you could tell, Samurai Japan's 2025 fall camp was different. The rhythm was sharper, the air, heavier. Every swing, every throw, every drop of sweat meant something more. Because here, in this late November air, players weren't just training, they were fighting for their place in history. There were whispers that the new generation was coming, that the veterans could feel their footsteps behind them. The sound of ambition echoing through the Miyazaki Sports Park. You could see it in their eyes, that burning need to prove, once again, what it means to wear Japan across your chest. The first few minutes of the morning session looked ordinary to outsiders. But then, something changed. A young pitcher, unknown to many, threw a fastball that sliced through the air with a sound like thunder. The crowd gasped. The veterans turned. Even the coaches paused. It wasn't just speed. It was control, precision, defiance. That single pitch told a story. The future is here. And yet, on the next field over, a familiar face stood in silence. A star of the World Baseball Classic, his name once chanted in stadiums across Tokyo, now quietly watching the rookies rise. Every motion seemed slower, more deliberate. He wasn't just throwing, he was searching for something. Redemption. Purpose. Maybe both. The crack of the bat cut through the cool air. A deep drive, gone. Over the wall. The rookie smiled, just a little, as the veterans nodded. A small gesture, but one filled with meaning. It wasn't rivalry, it was respect. The torch was being passed, not with words, but with action. By midday, the atmosphere had turned electric. Field drills became battles. Pitching sessions turned into duels. Every player was fighting a silent war, not against each other, but against their own limits. Sweat glistened under the sun, mixing with dust and determination. The coaches didn't speak much. They didn't need to. Their faces said it all: pride, fear, hope. They knew that Samurai Japan's next chapter was being written here, today, pitch by pitch. Somewhere near the bullpen, a catcher adjusted his mask. He'd been quiet all morning, observing, reading every movement. Then he caught that same rookie's next fastball. The glove popped, echoing across the field like a gunshot. He pulled off his mask, met the pitcher's eyes, and nodded once. It was the kind of moment that didn't need commentary, because everyone watching felt it in their chest. But this camp wasn't just about the rising stars. It was about unity, the merging of generations. The veterans didn't fade quietly. They guided, they challenged, they reminded everyone of the cost of wearing the flag. One of them, still nursing a shoulder injury, walked to the plate and sent a ball screaming into the outfield gap. The younger players erupted in cheers, not because of the hit, but because of what it meant: resilience. Afternoon rolled in. Shadows stretched across the field. The drills intensified. Grounders were taken like bullets, base running like a battlefield. The sound of spikes scraping dirt became the soundtrack of obsession. Every repetition was a promise that when the world watched again, Samurai Japan would not just compete, they would dominate. As the sun began to fall, a strange calm settled over the camp. The golden light touched every player's face, sweat glistening like armor. You could see fatigue, but behind it, something more powerful: conviction. Each of them carried a private memory, a game lost, a moment missed, a chance never taken. And here, they were rewriting that story. A few meters away, the national flag waved gently. It wasn't raised high, but it didn't need to be. Everyone here understood what it stood for. Not perfection, not invincibility, but pride, honor, the unshakable bond of a team that fights as one. Night came slowly. The last lights of the stadium flickered on. The final bullpen session began, and it was brutal. Pitch after pitch, the young arms refused to stop. The coaches looked at each other, half in awe, half in concern. Enough, one whispered. But they didn't stop. Because that's the spirit of Samurai Japan, to keep going, even when no one's watching. And then, just as the session ended, the veterans gathered the team. No speech, no big moment, just silence. A circle, a nod. The torch passed, not in ceremony, but in respect. Outside the field, reporters waited. But inside, something sacred had happened, something no headline could capture. It wasn't about stats or records. It was about belief. About a new generation stepping into the fire, ready to forge their own legend. When the gates finally opened and the players walked out, fans cheered, unaware of what they'd just missed: the birth of something unstoppable. Behind those tired eyes were warriors reborn, carrying the legacy of every player who came before them. The 2025 Samurai Japan Fall Camp wasn't just a training ground. It was a forge, where steel met fire, where young dreams collided with old scars. And when the next tournament begins, the world will see the result. Because what happened in Miyazaki will echo far beyond Japan. It will echo in every pitch thrown, every swing taken, every silent moment before the anthem plays. This wasn't practice. This was destiny sharpening its blade. And when the world sees Samurai Japan take the field again, they'll understand exactly what was born here, under the fading sun of November 2025.